Hey, beloved St. Bart's. Hey, friends who are visiting. Wanted to take a moment to share a little bit about Holy Week this year with you all. And two things I'd like to ask you to consider as Holy Week approaches. The first is to feel welcome if you'd like to visit. And for members of St. Bart's, think about who you might want to invite. Easter is often a time when people who are thinking about giving the church another chance, or looking for a church home, or coming back to the church, will do that during Easter. And if you have a trusted friend that has a church that is theirs, that's a really great way for them to go somewhere and experience church with someone they trust. The second thing I'd like to do is just talk about what Holy Week is like here at St. Bart's. And the thing I want to make clear is it's not one similar worship service repeated over and over and over again. They are all very different. And I would even suggest that these different services really are pieces of one large worship service that is Holy Week. So it kicks off on Palm Sunday at 10 a.m. We will have a palm procession, waving palm branches and hailing Jesus as our King, just as the crowd in Jerusalem did for him 2,000 years ago. That will very quickly turn a corner, as it did 2,000 years ago. And then we will hear a dramatic reading of the passion or the suffering of Jesus that starts with his trial before Pontius Pilate. And so Holy Week continues on Maundy Thursday, where we will celebrate the institution of Holy Communion, and we will have an opportunity for those who would like to wash one another's feet as Jesus commanded. And that was the thing that he did to embody the great commandment that he taught on the first Maundy Thursday, which is to love one another just as he loves us. And then when that service ends on Maundy Thursday, we'll have opportunities following the service in 1 hour increments to pray with Jesus. You might recall that the night before he died, after the Last Supper, he went into the Garden of Gethsemane, bringing some of his disciples to pray. And he said to them, "Could you not keep watch with me for even 1 hour?" So this is an opportunity where we can go into the side chapel at St. Bart's, where the blessed bread and wine will be with you. And that will continue into the evening and resume in the morning. Then on Good Friday, we'll have Stations of the Cross here in person in the sanctuary at 11:30. Now, all through Lent, you can participate in an online Stations of the Cross that will be available through our social media and YouTube channel. So on Good Friday, Stations of the Cross at 11:30, or a self-guided Stations of the Cross online anytime you'd like. Then we will gather at 6:30 p.m. for a worship service called the Veneration of the Cross. And then 7 members of St. Bartholomew's will each preach a short sermon on one of the 7 last words that Jesus spoke from the cross on that first Good Friday. Friends, I have to tell you, these 7 last words sermons by members of St. Bart's are some of the most powerful sermons that get preached in this church all year. 6:30 Good Friday. Then on Holy Saturday, we have an 11-minute Holy Saturday liturgy, not here at church. It's not in person. It's something you can do online as a self-guided worship service. Again, prayers, scripture, and historic Christian art, where you can enter into what was happening with Jesus between his death on Good Friday and his resurrection on Easter Sunday. Short little service. You can do it at your own pace by going to our YouTube channel online. And then Sunday morning, friends, Easter, the resurrection of the Son of God, that Jesus Christ has risen from the dead and tramples down death with death itself. It is the most glorious worship service St. Bart celebrates all year. Our team of musicians and altar guild and those that read and those that serve pull out all the stops. It starts in candlelight and in darkness with the tone that we left off on Good Friday. And the light of Christ is carried into the sanctuary in the dark. That light is passed to everyone that is here for Easter Sunday to light their own candle from the light of Christ. And then we renew our baptismal promises. And then we declare for the first time since Ash Wednesday that Christ is risen. And from that moment on, it is a celebration and explosion of music and flower petals and alleluias and bell ringing and people being blessed with holy water. And that's Easter Sunday. And we do also have an Easter egg hunt for the little ones as well. So, 2 requests for Holy Week. 1, think of who you might invite if you're a member of St. Bart's. If you'd like to visit us, we would love to have you. And we hope that you'll join us. And second thing, make time for Holy Week as much as your schedule allows, beloved. Again, we have a lot of worship services, but they're not the same. They're each one piece of a larger worship service that when you put them all together is the totality of the most important week in the history of humanity.